Earlier this week, the Alberta Review Board decided to move Matthew de Grood to a facility in Edmonton to start his reintegration into the community. The 27-year-old will be transferred to a hospital in that city and could eventually be allowed to move into a halfway house. He's also been given allowances to take escorted trips into the community. De Grood was found not criminally responsible for the stabbing deaths of 5 young people at a house party in 2014. Doctors say de Grood is on medication for his schizophrenia and is in full remission. Danielle Smith from 770 CHQR joining us this morning to continue the conversation on this story. Danielle, the parents of the victims are now speaking out about this ruling, and needless to say, they're a little upset.
Oh, they're furious. And I think that they're in sync, and the public is in sync with them on this as well. It's almost like the Mental Health Review Board lives in its own little world, and they were really dismissive of the testimony that the parents gave, going so far as to say that it doesn't reflect the view of the general public. Well, I think it does. I mean, just because somebody has been found not criminally responsible doesn't mean let's quickly get them back into public as fast as we possibly can. There is still a danger. If this individual goes off his meds, we know what he can do. He's delusional and he kills people. We have the worst mass killing in Calgary's history at his hands. And so you've got a situation where for the rest of his life, he's going to have to be monitored in order to ensure that he stays on his medication. What's the best place to make sure that he's monitored 24 hours around the clock? Well, in an institution. So the fact that they are now moving him away from Edmonton because they describe Calgary as too toxic an environment, and he could be fast-tracked out of prison or out of this facility within a matter of, I don't know, months, years, I think that offends everybody's sense of what is right to do in this situation.
Danielle, is it that, because this isn't precedent-setting, and in many ways the medical system with mental health issues is moving in this direction, but is it that the review board just didn't seem to listen and move too fast on all of this so far? Or I mean, rightfully so, the parents are upset, but is it the fast pace of it all?
Well, I think in some ways they're looking to precedent on the case of Vince Lee, who murdered Jason McLean on the Greyhound bus. He's already changed his name to Will Baker, and he's back integrated into the community. I think they made a mistake in that case as well. There is, I think, some sense that if a person has committed an act such as this, even if they are not found to be criminally responsible and go to prison, that they should still be incarcerated in some way. And the families, I'll be speaking with Kelly Hunter, the mother of Josh Hunter, one of the victims, this morning. What they're asking for is for him to be labeled a dangerous offender so that they can keep him in treatment for a longer period of time. And I don't think what they're asking for is unreasonable. In fact, in some ways, I am more concerned about a person who, because of a mental illness, if they go off their medication, would do something this heinous than in some ways those who commit crimes of passion. This is the kind of crime, a mass killing, that is totally random, that people are fearful of. And it's part of the reason why I don't think there is public support to fast track him out of a secure facility. I think that there's great public support, and we'll hear if there is in Edmonton, since that's the community he'll be released into. I think we'll be watching this for a number of years still.
Well, okay. Danielle Smith, you can hear the beginning of that conversation at 9:30 on 770 CHQR. Thank you, Danielle.
My pleasure.